Alrighty, so week 17, our last attendance of the semester. Amazingly, there's been probably, before I've recorded this for week 17, at least a handful of you who have already completed the final and therefore completed this course. So that's awesome. And that was one of the things that I heard pretty loud and clear on the course feedback, which I just finished grading this morning, was that there's definitely some of you who appreciate that ability to work ahead. So I definitely will not change that. And there are many of you that really appreciated the way the course was laid out and the start here videos. I will not be changing those. I agree with you. I think for me, it's also a way for me to feel connected and to give you that, like, here's what you need to do. So I just am grateful for your feedback about the pieces that I feel have worked well. And hearing your feedback confirms that. The things that are a little bit of a struggle with the My IT Lab are somewhat out of my control. I do take that feedback back to our representative who to tell them, right? And to our department to say, I think there are some definitely good things that come out of the My IT Lab. And I think it's a good way to try to train students on these concepts. Many of you were fine with the weekly lab, but when it came to the lab tests, those were more challenging. Although many of you appreciated the short videos that were given by another instructor. So on whole, there was definitely some good and some not good, some challenges there. The thing I guess I would want to maybe respond to is several of you were talking about the idea that the amount of work. And this is something I believe I said in the beginning of the semester, something I really, when I've taught this before, and you may have heard me say this, but if you didn't, cool. When I've taught this course, because there was about a year that I didn't teach this courses, I was only teaching my advanced classes. But during that time, before that time, when I was teaching this class, would have 2 due dates a week. And really, the reason I had 2 instead of 1, like this time, was that it would give students that ability to kind of pace themselves. And even if they didn't pace themselves, the course was set up to reinforce that idea of pacing yourself. So if you felt like this class was a lot of work, my suggestion, if you run into this kind of structure again, is don't just work on it once a week, right? So, I mean, by setting up the structure, I can't enforce the idea, although I did say it. You should work on it a couple times a week and not just when things are due. And a couple of you put in your replies that actually is the way you worked on it. And it was a better way to do it, because if you're just working, again, I'm repeating myself, but if you're just working on the night something is due, you're going to feel a certain stress and not give things maybe the attention they need. So FYI about that. So here at this last start here, I would just like to say thank you. I know that you have choices, and I try to be honoring of the choice that you've made, of your time and of your attention. And I hope, based on your feedback, it seems like most of you enjoyed the content for this class. I will, as we roll into the fall 2021 semester, I will be changing some of the content, but the structure and pretty much the class is the same, but I'll be updating some of the content. There's so much going on in the world of technology, from, more talking about cryptocurrency. Privacy, of course, is a big thing. There's just so much, right? Technology in general. I mean, I can't even in a short amount of time give you, but that's what I do, is I go through and look at those weeks and go, okay, is there something more contemporary? Like, how are these concepts evolved, and what would I want to be thinking about at this point? Like, one of the things I know I focus on, because I'm starting to teach it in the coming time, is this idea of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and how that affects both in a positive and maybe not so positive way. So Thank you for the feedback. You make the course better by giving that, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate you being here. And I appreciate that some of you who didn't really want to take this class online, but you didn't have a choice. And the thing I would say to you about this is that I think the thing about online education that can be really beneficial is that if you learn to be that self-disciplined, that you can keep yourself on track because you know you're going to work on something. Because sometimes I think what happens, there are a lot of benefits of the face-to-face class, but one of the things I think students rely on is that ability to walk in, to have the instructor tell them what to do. And I think a class like this can help you develop that internal discipline of doing it without having that experience. Now, not that it's bad, it's just that there are so many opportunities that you will be. There's so many things that you can take advantage of by growing this part of your own personality. I love online. I've been teaching this way for many years, way before COVID. So I enjoy it. I enjoy trying to make these courses better. I enjoy trying to make the students feel connected into a classroom, even without a classroom. And it seems like I may have been successful in that sense. So thank you. Have a great summer. And I know I'm looking forward to summer. I have definitely an agenda for what I'm doing this summer. Some of it's fun, just go out and have a good time. Some of it's serious study and prep and course revision as I go in. So let me just say at here, right? So just as I'm looking here, this week 17, 18 is because week 17 really is only the week what rolls into week 18 as the final. And if you want to know more about the end of the semester and you're unsure, you could of course ask here, that'd be fine. But I covered these topics in detail in week 15, so I definitely would go check that out. If you want to know more about this. The one thing I would say, because some of you have already submitted the final, is of course you're taking it in my IT lab, you're creating your PDF, you're putting it here in Canvas, and in your submission, just tell me the number of the 150 that you got right, and you can give me your percentage. The reason that's important is that I have to, the way Canvas is set up for this item, actually have to enter a number you got right. So just to be clear here as well on the calendar side, right, since here we are, the week 17 attendance and of course the final and then the end of the semester. So what I will do, of course, every day I look at grade things that are submitting. Remember, again, you can submit late work. Refer back to week 15 for detail about that. But this is the last time that night by midnight. Okay, when I wake up Thursday morning, what I will do is grade anything I haven't already graded or anything you've submitted late. Remember, late work, the last time you can do it, last time I will look at it is that morning. But really, I've put, and that's what week 15 talked about, that it was at the due date of the final. So just keep that in mind. I wouldn't, if I was you, be working that close to the end of it because it's just not a good idea. Understanding how to determine your own grade, right? You don't need to ask me those kinds of questions. Week 15 will do that for you. So I will wake up. Let me just finish this thought. On the 20th, on May 20th, I'll grade anything that I haven't already graded. I will take out, you will no longer be able to work on the course, but you can ask me any questions, any feedback, not feedback, but any questions about grade items. If you feel like something was missed, I give you 24 hours. So the clock starts to tick on the 20th. And then the morning of the 21st, the last day of the semester, that's when I will go in, uh, put, prepare my grades for submission to the campus, right? And so at that point, it's too late to ask me questions because all that has already gone in. So I give you 24 hours from May 20th till the morning of May 21st to ask any questions. You can no longer work on the class, but you can ask me any questions that you might have about a grade that you feel wasn't posted or you had done some work and it didn't get graded. those are perfectly fine questions to ask, but not new work at that point. Okay. Hopefully, with what we did in week 15, that just kind of clears everything up. And again, I'd like to encourage you that if you want to continue this idea of learning more about the web development, I teach CIT 82, Introduction to Web Development. I teach CIT 93, JavaScript, CIT 95, Python. And of course, 15. I'm continuing to teach 15 next semester. Okay, have a great summer. Thanks again. Peace out.